Hello everyone. This class is about transformer, what a transformer is and on what principle it works, what is the construction or structure of a transformer and what is the basic theory behind the transformer. This is all what we have to discuss in this topic. So to begin with, let us try to understand what a transformer is. So transformer is a device which convert low alternating voltage or AC voltage into higher alternating voltage by changing the value of current, right? So transformer converts the voltage from high to low and low to high by changing the value of current. If we have to convert the low alternating voltage into high, we have to reduce the value of current. So low alternating voltage which is taking place at higher current, it will be converted to the high alternating voltage by giving the low current, right? So this is how what a transformer is. It converts the voltage from high to low, and it is also used for converting the voltage from low to high, and the transformer does this by changing the current accordingly. So this is the transformer has a very wide use. Transformer are used for the electric energy transportation from one location to other. Transformer are also used in different electronic devices. So there are a lot of applications of transformer. Transformers are also used in industries to carry out different tasks in the industries. So there are a lot of applications where transformer are used. So what is the basic principle behind which a transformer works, with the help of which or under which a transformer works? So a transformer works on the phenomena of mutual inductance, right? So what is the mutual induction? The phenomena which we have already discussed. So it is the phenomena, this is what we are discussing, the principle. So principle of the transformer, it is defined as the induction of EMF in the coil due to change in the current in the primary coil. So whenever some EMF is induced in a coil, which we will call here as the secondary coil, due to change in the current in the primary coil, because change in the current in the primary coil will create a changing flux across the secondary coil as shown in this diagram. So therefore some EMF is induced. This is how output EMF, or we can say output voltage, is received, which may be high or low depending upon what kind of transformer we are using. So this is the principle of the transformer, which is nothing but the phenomena of mutual induction. So a transformer is just like this. There are two coils. One coil, it is called as the primary coil, at which the input voltage is given, which may be high or low depending upon what kind of transformer we are using. It has some number of turns, called as number of turns in the primary coil, and there is also another coil which is placed in close to the primary coil. This second coil, it is called as secondary coil, another coil. It also has some number of turns which is different from the primary coil depending upon what kind of transformer we are using. Again, this secondary coil we are connecting some output circuit to which some output is taken. So primary coil is the one in which the voltage to be converted is fed, and secondary coil is the one across which we receive the converted voltage. So this is how a transformer works. And for the effective mutual induction of these two coils, primary and secondary coils, both the coils are mounted, or we can say wound or bind over the same iron core. And iron core is not a single piece, but there are different number of pieces connected together, strips which are connected together, just as shown in this diagram. So we will discuss the purpose for using different strips rather than one single piece of iron at the later stage. Okay. So this is the basic construction of the we can say transformer. So we can talk about the basic theory which is working during the transformation of voltage from low to high or from high to low. So because we are feeding the alternating current, which is a changing current in the primary coil, right? So in the input coil or input circuit of the transformer, we are feeding the changing current, alternating current, which is a changing current, due to which a changing flux is produced in the primary coil. And because secondary coil is also lying close, so secondary coil is lying in this changing flux in the primary coil, or we can say due to this changing current in the primary coil, a changing flux takes place across the secondary coil, due to which some EMF is induced in the secondary coil and EMF is also induced in the primary coil. So we can write the expression for the induced EMF according to the Faraday's law, which is nothing but, here we can see the induced EMF in the primary coil, EP. It is nothing but minus NP into d phi upon dt. d phi upon dt is nothing but the rate of change of flux, which will depend upon the current and the mutual induction, as we already know. Okay. And NP, it is nothing but the number of turns present in the primary coil, right? So this will give us the induced EMF in the primary coil due to the phenomena of electromagnetic induction. And in the similar case, because secondary coil is also facing the same change of flux, it is also lying in the same change of flux. So that means the EMF is also induced in the secondary coil, which we are actually interested in. So EMF induced in the secondary coil according to Faraday law, we can also write the formula for it to be minus Ns into d phi upon dt. Because rate of change of flux is same. It is the same flux which is changing across primary and across secondary coil. So these are nothing but the EMFs induced in the primary and the secondary coil. If we divide these two, we divide ES with EP. So we get ES upon EP. Here d phi upon dt cancels out, and in the numerator we are left with Ns upon Np. This ratio, this is the number of turns in the secondary coil for number of turns in the primary coil, right? This ratio of the number of turns in the secondary coil to the number of turns in the primary coil, it is represented by K, and it is called as the transformation ratio. Whether the transformer is a transformer for lowering down the voltage, or lowering up the keeping the voltage up, it depends upon this ratio, or we can say number of turns in the primary and secondary coil. We will discuss it in the just next step. So this is the ratio Ns upon Np. So the ratio of the induced EMF, it is nothing but the ratio of the number of turns in the corresponding number of turns in the primary and secondary coil. So from here we can understand that the induced EMFs are directly proportional to the number of turns in the particular coil. Okay. And if the transformer is ideal one means there is no loss of energy. A transformer which does no loss of energy. That means in such a kind of transformer, whatever input power is fed to the primary circuit, it will be received at the output circuit. So therefore, for ideal transformer, output power, it is always equal to input power. So output power, it is nothing but output EMF, means in the secondary coil the EMF multiplied by the current in the secondary coil, which is equal to input power, which is the product of EMF in the primary coil multiplied by the current in the primary coil. So this will be same for an ideal transformer for no loss of energy. So in that case, we just rearrange this equation in order to write ES upon EP, because EP can be taken to the left side. So therefore it divides ES, and on the right hand side we are left with IP, and IS is taken to the right hand side. So it divides there. So IP upon IS. So from this equation, let us try to visualize this equation and understand this equation. It says that ratio of EMF in the secondary coil to the EMF in the primary coil, this is equal to ratio of current in the primary coil to the current in the secondary coil. So from here we understand that the EMF induced in the secondary coil, it is inversely proportional to the current in the secondary coil. So this equation is telling about how the transformer changes the voltage from low to high or high to low by changing the current. And because this ratio ES upon EP, it is nothing but NS upon NP. So we can write all these three together. So ES upon EP, this is equal to IP upon IS, and which in accordance with this equation, it is equal to NS upon NP. So all these three ratios are equal. And if it is a device which is used to convert one form of energy into other, however the form of energy is not converted, but it is taken from one way to other. So therefore efficiency of a transformer, efficiency is something which gives how good the transformer is to convert the input energy to the output energy. So efficiency, it is nothing but output power to the input power. So it is ES upon IS divided by EP upon IP. So from here, for an ideal transformer, we see that these two are equal. So for an ideal transformer, the efficiency is 100%. However, it is not the case in actual practice. Okay, now we can comprehend the transformer into little more detail. So here is the situation. The transformers are of two kinds. One is the step up transformer and other one is the step down transformer. Depending upon the need, either we make use of step up transformer, which increases the voltage from low to higher value, of course by changing the current, and also depending upon the use, we have the another transformer, step down transformer, which convert a high voltage into low voltage, of course again by changing the current. Okay, so how a step up transformer is constructed and how it works. So working of transformer is same as we just have discussed in the previous slide. So here step up transformer, in case of step up transformer, as we have discussed that this ratio, transformer ratio, NS upon NP, number of turns in the secondary coil per unit the number of turns in the primary coil. For step up transformer, when we require a voltage to be increased, we require the number of turns in the secondary coil to be high, because the EMF induced in the secondary coil, it will be more if the number of turns in the secondary coil, means NS will be more. So in comparison to the primary coil, if the number of turns in the secondary coil are higher, then the transformer is of step up kind. So whenever NS is more than NP, means the transformer ratio is more than 1. So from there we understand that EMF induced in the secondary coil, or we can say output circuit, it will be more than the EMF in the primary coil, and hence the current in the secondary coil, it will be less, as we just have discussed according to this expression, this, right? So the current will be inversely proportional to the volt EMF induced, it will be inversely proportional to the current. So it can increase the voltage by reducing the current. So current in the secondary coil will be less than the current in the primary coil. So this is how a step up transformer is. And another kind of transformer is the step down transformer. It is used to lower down the voltage from some certain high value, right? So again, from the transformer ratio, this in this particular case, the primary number of turns in the primary coil are higher, right, as seen in this case, than the number of turns in the secondary coil. For this, the transformer ratio is less than 1 for step down transformer, right? So from there we understand this, that EMF induced in the secondary coil, of course it will be less, because number of turns are less in comparison to the number of turns in the primary coil. So therefore ES is less than EP, and because of that, again the same relationship, this, right, the current in the secondary coil will be higher than the current in the primary coil. So these are about two kinds of transformers. So whenever transformer work, there are some ways in which energy is lost. So energy is lost in transformer in different ways. Let us try to take one by one. The first way in which energy can be lost, it is called as the copper loss. So what is copper loss? Because whenever current is flowing in the wire in the primary coil, some heat is produced due to the resistance of this wire, which is used for the primary coil and for the secondary coil, due to which some energy is lost in terms of the heat produced. Because even copper, which is a good conductor of electricity, it still possesses some resistance, due to which some energy is lost in the form of heat. Okay, so this can be avoided by using thick wires for winding, of course, right? Because thick wire will have less amount of resistance. Second way in which energy can be lost is the flux loss. If the primary and secondary coils are not coupled well together, then there will be some loss of the magnetic flux. Whenever magnetic flux is not completely linked with the secondary coil, energy will be wasted and the EMF induced, it will not be exactly as fed in the input circuit. So this is what we call as the flux loss, and this can be minimized by winding the coil over one over the other, as we have discussed in case of coupling constant. Another way in which energy can be lost is in the form of eddy currents. So whenever these two coils are wound over the same iron core, some energy is lost due to the formation of eddy currents, right? Because changing flux induce the we can say eddy currents in the sheets, or we can say that block of the iron core, right? So to minimize this energy loss in the form of eddy currents, what we do, we take the strips of these iron. In place of single core, we make use of a number of strips for the iron core of the iron, right? So in case of solid, as you can see, so due to which in case of solid iron piece, there will be large amount of current which will be flowing over the surface, whereas in case of laminate, we can say strips, there will be smaller path of the, when we make use of strips of the iron for the coupling of the two coils, primary and secondary coil in case of transformer, the area which is reduced, and hence we can say that the eddy currents are reduced. Another way to avoid the eddy current is by using the laminated cores. So these core of the transformer is laminated by coating, of course, due to which also the eddy currents are avoided. Okay. Another loss in which the energy can be lost in transformer is the hysteresis loss. So what is hysteresis? It is the process of magnetizing an iron, piece of iron or any specimen. Here we talk about the iron. So whenever we try to magnetize it and demagnetize it, this whole process, it is called as hysteresis. In this process of magnetization and demagnetization, because the current is changing, for half cycle it is flowing in one direction, for other half cycle it is flowing in reverse direction. So that means the coil, or we can say this iron core is taken over the process of magnetization and demagnetization. This is called as hysteresis, and in this process of magnetization and demagnetization means hysteresis, some energy is lost in hitting the, we can say, iron core. So this can be minimized by using suitable materials with thin hysteresis loop. Okay, we can make use of some suitable materials for which the hysteresis is minimum. There can also be the loss due to vibration of the core or humming loss, which is also called as, because whenever energy is fed to the input of the transformer and converted to the output, some energy is lost due to the vibration or humming loss, which is also called as the humming loss due to noise. So this is about some ways in which energy is lost in case of transformers, and hence transformer does not remain ideal. Okay. Final thing about is what uses we make use of transformer. Transformer are used for various purpose, as I just discussed during the start of this class. The main purpose we discuss here is for the transportation of electric energy. So whenever we need to transport the electric energy from power station to a distant location, we need a transformer. So how a transformer is advantageous for the transportation of electric energy, we can just have a look at it. Suppose that we have to transmit a power of 11,000 watt. So this is the energy per second we have to transport from initial location to some final location, right? Then this can be done in two ways. In two ways means in either in first case or either by method of the second case as discussed here. Suppose that this much amount of power we have to transport, and we are doing in first case we are doing this transmission of power at 220 volt, which is quite low voltage, right? So what will be the current that will be flowing? It will be given by I is equal to P upon V, and from here it appears to be 50 ampere, which is a very large amount of current, right? So if the coils are having some resistance, then heat loss equal to I square into R will be there, which will be quite a large amount. So it will be about 2500 times the resistance of the coils, or we can say R is the resistance of the transmission wire we are making use. So in order to hold that much amount of current, the transmission wire has to be so thick, right? So that will require a large amount of we can say material as well as cost. And in second case, what we do, if we use a step up transformer and increase this 220 volt to, for example, 22,000 volt, and transport this much amount of energy, or we can say power. So what will be the amount of current? It will be equal to, again we can calculate, it is power upon voltage. So this is the power and this is the voltage at which we are transmitting this power. This is equal to 0.5 ampere, which is quite small. So in that case we see that the energy loss is quite low, right? So this current is very small. So for holding this much of current, we require even thin wire, right? So which is comparatively economic, as well as it becomes easy for transportation of energy, electric energy. On the other end, we can then make use of a step up transformer again in order to regain the same amount of, we can say, energy. So this is how transporting the electric energy at higher voltage is quite easy process, or we can say quite an economic as well as efficient process in comparison to the transmission of energy at lower voltage. So this is how we can increase the voltage from low to very high value by making use of transformer, and hence transmitting the electric energy at higher voltages. So that is all about this topic. Thank you.